Raina, where are you?
I'm here, Mom. Let's go catch some bad guys.
Hi, I'm Raina from South Carolina. Before I tell you my story, please like and subscribe. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be just like my mom. She was my superhero. My mom was a policewoman, and she was always putting bad guys behind bars. It was so cool. When I was 5, I started dressing up like her. I only wanted to wear a blue shirt and pants and a cap like hers. But when she dropped me off at kindergarten, the kids didn't really understand.
What are you wearing? Blue, like my mom. I want to look just like her. But it's not Halloween, loser. You're such a weirdo.
When Mom asked me how my first day at school was, I told her I didn't want to talk about it. And from that day on, I'd only pretend to fight crime when I was at home. I'd never seen Mom in action. And of course, I'd always wanted to. But the first time I did, it turned out to be a terrible experience. It was the first day of middle school, and Mom dropped me in her police car. As I got off, I noticed a bunch of kids staring at me.
Why is the police car dropping you off? Are you some sort of criminal?
No, it's just my mom. She's the coolest.
Did you get arrested? Are you a bad person?
No, my mom's just a cop. Suddenly, Mom jumped out of her car and pinned one of the students to the wall. I was horrified.
Mom, what are you doing?
Stand back and let me do my job. She started taking the kid to her car while he burst into tears, and I begged her to stop. Just then, the principal arrived on the scene. What's going on here? What seems to be the problem, officer? I saw this child putting something in his pockets. He could be putting my child at risk. I have to make sure he's not bringing a weapon to school. Officer, there is no reason to suspect him. If you want, he can empty his pockets. The terrified boy turned out his pockets and revealed bubblegum and markers. Oh God, this was so embarrassing. How could she do this to me? Mom turned red and just left, and I had all those kids glaring at me.
That's your mom? Stay away from us. We don't want to go to jail because your mom's a lunatic.
Oh, what a terrible way to start. I felt so ashamed as I went to my first class and quietly took a seat at the back when a girl leaned over and whispered,
"Hey, I saw what happened. Are you okay?"
That was so humiliating. I can't believe my mom did that.
Moms can be so embarrassing. My mom is always embarrassing me in front of my friends. I'm Laura, by the way.
When I got home that day, my mom cried and begged me to forgive her. I'm your mom. It's my job to protect you. I'm so sorry I embarrassed you at your new school. You know I'm not an embarrassing mom. I've always thought you're the coolest mom, but that was terrible. Just promise me you'll never do that again. She promised, and I hugged her tight. It was tough with the other kids at school, but at least Laura would hang out with me. One time she caught me staring at this boy in our class and nudged me with her elbow.
You like him, don't you?
Shh, maybe I do. He's really cute.
Well, you should say hello, but not today. I'll come over to your house this evening and help you look super pretty tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd love that. I was so excited to have Laura over and give her a better impression of Mom. But as soon as we walked into my house, Mom came running and pounced on Laura, tackling her to the ground. What the freaking falafel? Mom, what are you doing? This girl is part of a group of thieves we're looking for. She looks just like the main suspect. No, Mom, she's my friend. But Mom took Laura off to the police station, only to find out that she was completely wrong, again. And the next day at school, Laura told everyone what had happened. No one wanted to sit near me, and my crush wouldn't even look at me anymore. Laura, I'm so sorry about what my mom did. Can you just talk to me?
No way! You think your mommy's some superhero, and that means you're just as crazy as her. You're an idiot if you think I'll ever want to talk to you again.
Back at home, I couldn't hold back my anger at Mom. You promised you wouldn't embarrass me again. I can't believe you did this. No one wants to talk to me now. I'm so sorry, sweetie. You know how hard my job is. I just want you to be safe. This is just what I have to do. You mean you have to attack middle schoolers like they're criminal masterminds? Maybe if you weren't so bad at your job, you wouldn't keep ruining my life. I ran up to my room and slammed the door shut. My mom knocked on the door a few times, but then she left me alone. Good. I really didn't want to talk to her. Nobody was happier than me when middle school was over, and I was starting off at a new high school. I made it very clear to Mom that I didn't want her coming anywhere near my school. Even if there's an emergency, just send somebody else there, okay? Don't worry, I won't come, I promise. I learned my lesson this time and took the bus, not risking anyone seeing me in a cop car. And when I turned 16, Mom bought me a car of my own. I was so grateful for that. I almost forgot about everything that had happened before. I got to drive my friends around everywhere, and I also drove to my dates instead of having boys picking me up and Mom interrogating them. It was perfect. Until one day, in the middle of biology class, a group of police officers barged into my class, including Mom. We've received a tip that kids in this class are using dangerous substances. We have to check all of them.
Oh, maybe some kids posted their science experiments on the internet. That was probably just a misunderstanding.
We will decide that. And then they went through all of our stuff and asked all the students questions. Everyone was whispering, and I was just praying nobody knew she was my mom. Looks like it was just a misunderstanding after all. Sorry for the interruption. Phew, I'd gotten away without anyone finding out. But just as Mom was almost out the door, she turned back and kissed me on the forehead. See you at home, sweetie. Oh my God! The whole class stared at me like I was a criminal. When class was over, everyone was whispering and snickering around me and saying I must be just as crazy as my mom. I'd just had it. When I got home that day, I made sure Mom knew there were no more excuses. That's it, Mom. You just did it again. I'm so sorry, sweetie. It's part of my job. You'll understand when you're a police officer. You think I want to be a cop after this? Forget it. I don't want to be anything like you. I became much more distant from my mom after that. It was a relief when I got into college across the country, and I didn't have to worry about her interfering with my life anymore. I didn't want to be a cop, but I still had a passion for law enforcement, so I decided to become a lawyer. One day, as I was dashing to my class, I bumped into a boy, and all my books went flying. As I muttered an apology and started picking them up, he knelt down to help, and I saw that he was really cute. As I thanked him and started walking, he followed me. Wait, I didn't catch your name. That's because I never told you. It's Raina. If we were on a jury, Raina, I'd find you guilty of being criminally gorgeous. I burst out laughing. Do these cheesy lines ever work? I'm about to find out. Would you like to get coffee with me later this evening? Sure, why not? His name was Jace, and we started dating, and I fell in love. He was so smart and dedicated to becoming a lawyer, and soon after we graduated, he proposed. Yes, of course I'll marry you. The next day, we flew to his hometown to meet his mother. She wrapped me in a big hug. I'm so excited you're going to be part of our family. Me too. Jace's mom was always so nice to me. She never embarrassed me and always called me her beautiful daughter-in-law in front of friends and family. When we got married, my mother flew in for the wedding. We had a lot of fun, but I could tell she was hurt that I was so close to Jace's family and not her anymore. A year later, we welcomed our baby daughter. We named her Stacy, and we just fell in love with her. We had a great time being our little family. We lived next door to Jace's mother, who came over to help us often. And every evening, I would sit on the couch with Jace, and we would take turns holding our baby. I'd never been so happy. But then Jace decided to throw it all away to join the army. I was so angry and yelled at him for hours. But he told me that this was something he had to do, and he needed my support. I couldn't believe he was leaving me alone with our baby, but I let him go. That first night, Stacy cried so hard, and she just wouldn't stop. I didn't know what else to do, so I called my mom and told her everything, and she jumped onto the next flight and came to me. She helped me take care of my daughter when I was alone. I was so grateful she was there for me. Nothing else mattered. 1 week later, Jace's mom came to visit us. I just had to see you and Stacy. You wouldn't understand how much I miss him. Of course I do. We're his family. Actually, I'm his family. I raised him all alone. You seem to be struggling to take care of your child, though. Yes, my mom is helping out, but I'm Stacy's mother and perfectly capable of taking care of her. Raina, you don't need your mom while I'm here. I'd like to arrange an agreement so we can both share custody of Stacy while my son is away. Excuse me? You want to take away my child? I don't want to take her. I want to share her. She'll help me miss my son less. Besides, I'm a much better mother than you. That's enough. Suddenly, my mother appeared by my side like a superhero. You leave my daughter alone. Is that clear? If you bother her again, I'll have you arrested. You can't do that. Maybe I can and maybe I can't. If I were you, I wouldn't risk it. Jace's mom was furious, but she stormed off without another word. Thank you so much, Mom. Now that I know what she's like, I really can't stand the idea of living next to her. Don't you worry. You and Stacy come live with me until Jace comes back. And that's what we did. While we were here, Stacy started talking, and I got a new job in my hometown. I loved my husband, but I hadn't realized how much I missed Mom. One night, I woke up in the middle to a strange sound, and I jumped out of bed. I didn't know what was wrong, but I just knew I had to check on Stacy. That's when I heard her crying out for me.
Mommy, where are you? Mommy!
Stacy, I'm coming, baby! I ran to her room, but I couldn't find her in her bed. I started freaking out. Mom, where's Stacy? That's when I heard a loud thud. I ran downstairs and I saw Stacy on the floor bawling like crazy while my mom was tackling an intruder. And the intruder was Jace's mom. What are you doing here, you psycho woman? You said you wouldn't let me have my grandchild. I came to take what was mine. I told you if you bothered my daughter again, I'd have to arrest you. You made it easy for me. My mom handcuffed her and drove her to the police station in her pajamas while I hugged my daughter tight.
Mommy, what's going on?
Shh, sweetie. You don't have to worry about a thing. Grandma's a superhero. She'll take good care of us.